Hi, my name is Heather. I'm the owner of Magnificent Mamas, and we are here today with two special guests. One is my assistant, and one is an awesome author. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Josephina. I am Heather's assistant.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name's Jo Lyons. I am a romantic comedy author of 4 books. I live in the north of England. That's where I'm talking to you now from. It's very dark and cold, and it's quite late at night as well. And unusually, I don't have a glass of wine in my hand. But I have come here with some of my books to talk to you about the new one in particular that launched last week. So I'm very excited about it because unlike my other books that are basically me monetizing my misery or whatever's happening in my life and taking someone from quite a bad place to a good, I'll talk about those books in a little while. But this new one that I'm really happy with, can't stop stroking it actually for some bizarre reason. It's really pretty, and it's called Love on the Island because I don't know if you're familiar with a show. You have it in America as well. We have it in the UK, but it's called Love Island, where people go on the show to find love, and they usually parade around in bikinis and things like that. Well, this year, my niece went on the show, so I was able to get loads of behind-the-scenes information from her, all the secrets that go on, what happens off camera, all of that sort of thing. And to be honest, I found it absolutely fascinating. So I don't know if have you ever seen the show either?
No, I've watched like Love is Blind, but I haven't watched a lot of the other ones. No.
Yeah, well, it's a reality show, so it's not scripted. But what I didn't know, in the UK one, they invite all of the contestants to a big villa, and it just happens to be in Mallorca in Spain, where I used to live. And before the contestants get to even go on the show, they're held in like a holding villa for a number of weeks. And we weren't expecting that. And they have their phones taken off them and all the rest of it. So you don't hear from them. My niece, actually, that was one of her favourite parts of the whole experience was before she even got on TV, because you have this whole lovely luxury villa to yourself with a chaperone. And it took my niece quite a while to get on the show. And then the show started and she wasn't on it. And we were thinking, and the producers were contacting me to say, oh, she'll be on next week, she's getting ready and da-da-da. And then we'd watch it again and she wasn't on it. And I was thinking, where is she? What's happening? I hope she's all right. Because as I said, there's no no idea of what's going on the show or the outside world or anything, because their phones are taken off them the moment they land. So I started getting some ideas, thinking, what if, one of the producers, because we're all very young and good looking, what if one of them took a fancy to a contestant and didn't actually want them to go on the show and to literally sort of, so I had these seeds of ideas sort of running. She did get to go on the show in the end, and she had a really good time and loved the experience. And while she was on it, I was busy drafting a romantic comedy inspired by the show. So it came out last week, managed to get to #1 on Amazon. So I was absolutely delighted. And the first lot of feedback in is really, really good. So if any of your listeners like really light-hearted, a lot of fun, but very uplifting,
I'll definitely be reading that.
Oh, right, excellent.
Looks good. It sounds good.
I'll send you the links. I've because it did so well. What I did, lots of people were getting in touch with me to say, "Well, what else have you written?" So my debut was called, I don't have a copy because I keep selling out. People keep knocking on my door.
That's good.
Have you got any books?
Good,
So the first one that I wrote was called Benidorm, actually, because I don't know if you've heard of Benidorm. It's a town in Spain, and it's where lots of British people and Germans go, basically to drink a lot and just lie on the beach. It's I think it's Europe's busiest tourist destination. So if you can imagine it, it's a glorious beach, and then there's just like Hawablo, and there are just millions of tourists, lots and lots of bars. But one of the things it's really famous for is, I don't know, do either of you sing? Do you like karaoke or anything? Right. So Benidorm is really famous karaoke tribute act. Do you call them tribute act? Where someone impersonates someone else. So you would have someone might impersonate Pink or like Madonna, or
we have them over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you would call them impersonators. I don't.
Yeah, I think they do impersonators more is a
Right.
word term.
So Benidorm is full of impersonators. So you can go and see Michael Jackson, you can go and see Queen, you can see Adele, Ed Sheeran, all of those. Not the real ones, the people that pretend to be them. And it's really good quality. So that draws lots of people there. So anyway, I'll get to the point. So my first book was based on Benidorm, and I used to live in Spain but work in the UK, so I would fly backwards and forwards. I took my children and my husband on a family gap year that lasted 3 years to Spain, so they could
Nice.
experience a different culture, learn a different language. And because they were teenagers as well, they were just sort of like, I just thought they could do with a different experience to the one that they were getting in the north of England. So on the commute from Alicante to Newcastle, how do I describe it? It was very lively. So you'd have lots of groups. We call them stag groups and dues. I think you would call them bachelors and bachelorette parties.
Oh, yeah.
So you have all these big groups. There'd be big groups of women singing at the top of their voices, 7 o'clock in the morning, Robbie Williams, and have
Nice.
bottles of Prosecco on the go, and having a really good time. But there'd always be at least one person that looked sort of out of place, or I used to look for the girl that, like, in these big parties, that was probably on the groom's side. And
Just wasn't sure where they belonged in that party.
yeah, totally. Often they look terrified or bewildered or, whatever, sort of nervous looking going out. And that it just reminded us where I come from in the north of England, in Newcastle. The girls, were very sort of weather averse. We don't care if it's snowing outside. We don't care. We'll be in heels. We'll be in little dresses. We'll look. So it was brilliant to take this sort of person that looked totally out of their comfort zone in this group and turn that into a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
And so I wrote it while I was on the commute back and forth to work, and it was really, really good fun. And I didn't think that anything would come of my writing, but I entered it into a competition for the Comedy Awards in the UK, Women's Comedy Awards, and miraculously it got shortlisted. So I couldn't believe it. It was the first thing that I'd written, and so I found myself down in London with the likes of, I don't know if you've heard, like Jilly Cooper, Marion Keyes, were like all these women that are really big in the UK on comedy writing as well. And it was just a fantastic experience. I loved it.
What age range would you say your books are appropriate for?
Definitely adult.
Definitely adult.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I didn't know if like 15-year-olds would, if it was too.
I think well, this one's too spicy. The yellow one, this practically wrote itself. In the lockdowns and in COVID, and everybody was stuck in their houses, and so I don't know if you've got this program in America, but there's a program in the UK called A Place in the Sun, and basically the presenters take people who want to buy somewhere, like a property abroad in Florida or in Spain or France or somewhere. Just somewhere sunny, and they take them and you just go look around the houses. Honestly, I love it. It's hilarious because you get to see it's a real people watch, So during COVID, when we couldn't go out anywhere, I was watching this program every single day just to get a fix of being outdoors and being in the sunshine. So that gave me an idea for what if the TV presenter and the program manager were ex-fiancés and they had to work together in a camera crew. And then I took it a step further and thought, what if he jilted her at the altar and she was really, really mad? So this book ended up being sort of inspired by the TV show. And last year I was lucky enough to go down to Manchester and meet the crew. And that was really good. And bizarrely, prior to that, while I was writing the book, while I was in Spain writing the book, I was just sort of at the end where, I don't know, when you interview writers, we write the first draft. We think it's the best thing we've ever written, that anyone's ever written. And then when you read it back to yourself, you just sort of have this sinking feeling of, oh no, what if it wasn't actually fantastic? What if it's all garbage? So I was having that dark night of the soul with it. And so I thought, right, take yourself off, have a walk, give yourself a good talking to. And I walked down to the beach and I saw a camera crew on the beach. And I thought, all right, I'm really losing the plot now because, and I'm looking, and then I could see my favourite TV presenter, and I was like, no way, it was A Place in the Sun actually filming live right outside my house, and I couldn't believe it. So of course I embarrassed myself by running towards them and shrieking and saying, I love you. And the presenter was very kind, and I was able to pick her brains, and she gave loads of information for the book.
That is so fantastic. That is so awesome.
Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, it really helped as well to give the book some sort of authenticity as well,
Yeah, definitely. That always helps, especially when you have that. But that's awesome.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, and by the way, I cannot wait to read every single one of these. I want to read all of them right now.
Thank you. I think some of the feedback I get is absolutely incredible. If it's I get a lot from people that don't read or haven't read for years, and because I get lots of men readers as well, and they will say because they're so easy to read and they're fun and they're sort of uplifting. A lot of people sort of start it one day and finish it that night or finish it the next day. They're just literally breeze through them.
I'm surprised because most guys don't really seem to be into romance type anything.
You would be
I know, it's great.
Yeah, you would be surprised. There's actually a lot of guys that read romance, especially the spicy romance, which is hilarious to me because you wouldn't think that they would, but they do. They really do.
Yeah, and I think mine are in covers that I think you can get away with. I mean, this is just like a proof cover, but because they are rom-coms, but they don't look twee, and I think they don't particularly look like they're for women. They could easily be for either. So I don't think men feel embarrassed reading them, just because of the way they are, and the colours. I always go for a bright colour, so that's the sky, the sea, the sun.
I love bright colors. They definitely stand out.
Bright pink. This, you can't really see it on the screen, but it's bright pink. It's green on the back, and that was my sort of love and jungly sort of colours. But yeah, the books based on like reality TV were absolutely hilarious to write. I really enjoyed it.
I can't wait to read them. I'm so excited. Are they available like on Kindle Unlimited, or is it?
They are. I've put them all on Kindle Unlimited.
I'm downloading them right now.
just to celebrate just it doing so well. So all of them are available for free, obviously on Kindle Unlimited, but I've got them all at 99 cents as well. If any of your listeners aren't on Kindle Unlimited,
That's
so
awesome.
you can download them all really, really cheaply for the price of a cup of coffee. I'd rather people just enjoy them, you know.
I'm getting
If
ready
you've
to look
got
at
any
it.
friends, if you've got any friends that like romantic comedies, and
Oh, I can't
you'll
even
like
see it.
them. Oh, wow.
Yep, I see it too.
Brilliant, thank you. And you'll have to let us know how you get on as well.
Oh yes, I'm totally reviewing them. Absolutely, I will review.
Yeah.
Yep,
I've kind of I went for a market that the books would be ideal if you like I said, you just want something light and sort of fluffy. Ideal if you're on holiday and you just want a bit of escapism. And then my friends, if they've got like sort of if they've had a heavy day at work, they like to just come back and then just read a couple of chapters. And they say it just sort of like lifts them straight away, which is
see, that's
lovely.
what I need. I need something that's light and an easy, happy book to read at the end of the night.
Yeah, they'll definitely make you smile. And also, I go around our local hospital because I started getting messages on Facebook from people that were having chemotherapy or in hospital, or their partners were in hospital, and reading them and saying that they were laughing out loud on the wards, and it was just great for them to take their mind off what was going on. So
That's
there's an
awesome.
feedback like that is just absolutely, well, that's why you're right.
Okay, so I have a question. If you had a chance to write with another author, like co-author, who would it be?
Oh, well, I mean, the biggies. I mean, Helen Fielding, who wrote Bridget Jones, is like just a comic genius for me. I love the way that she wrote those books. And more recently, I loved it. Did you see The Hating Game on Netflix? Did you read Sally Thorne's book, The Hating Game?
I don't think I have yet. I just recently got Netflix back, so
That's a good rom-com. I think it was on Netflix anyway. But that was a really good rom-com.
I don't know if it was on Netflix particularly, but I know that I've seen it. I've never watched it and I haven't read it, but that could be on my list too. You're just giving me stuff to put on my TBR. That's fine with me.
Yeah, she's really funny. Sophie Kinsella. Have you heard of Sophie Kinsella? She did like all the Shopaholic series. And Lindsay Kelt's a British writer, but she lives in America, and she's really funny as well. So yeah, any of those.
Sorry, I was getting your books on here.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much. Yes, I appreciate all the support I can get. So yeah, thank you very much for having me on the podcast, and thank you for let me tell you all about the book.
Thank you.
Really
I'm sorry I had a little electrical issues and whatnot.
Not a problem.
But
It was really nice to meet you both. I wish you well with the podcast. And did you say you have a YouTube channel as well?
yeah, there's not anything on it until we start the podcast on March 1st, but the videos will be on the YouTube channel as well. So
Great. I look forward to watching some of your other authors that you interview as well.
Thank you. We look forward to meeting with so many more authors and sharing their stories and helping authors get their books out there and their name out there, of course.
Do you guys want to run a competition or anything like that and offer one of the books as a prize? I'm happy to do that too.
Yes, we would love to. We will be in touch with you about that.